Great.
Cool. I love it. Love it. Well, listen, I'm here in beautiful Irvine, California, at the equally beautiful Holiday Inn, Santa Ana. Maybe a high lob away from the John Wayne Airport. So
Nice.
they start cruising in pretty early in the morning. Right outside the window is Interstate 405. So
The 405.
yeah, it's the 405. So you definitely need the silicone earplugs at night to kind of muffle it a little bit. But anyway, I'm here to play the hard courts. Playing 70 singles, 65 doubles. My original doubles partner, Ken Dahl, is on the injured reserve. So picked up a guy last second, Andrew Stanley. Who's,
Andrew, yes.
Yes, bloody. Oh, God. Oh,
well,
God,
you said,
Andrew.
tell Andrew I said, hey.
I will. Anyway, so he and I are playing 65 doubles because he's not quite into my age group yet, but I'm looking forward to it. This could be fun. Anyway, first match for me this morning is 11 a.m. here coming up in about 2.5 hours. So we're going to finish up. I'm going to go over there, hit a few balls. I've got a little lower left back tweak that's been chronic for, you know, this thing. It was good for, gosh, a couple months. And then the last couple days has kind of flared up. So I've been with the trainer, went to the trainer yesterday at the club. Interesting concept of what he's doing. So we'll see. We'll see if he's got the magic formula for me today.
Right.
But I know if I do anything here, it's going to be like one of those smoke and mirrors in terms of the body, just kind of going, you know, well, you're patched up for the next 90 minutes, dude. Better go. You know.
Right.
Yeah. 91 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah. The door is closing on the opportunity to get it done.
That's right. That's right. So anyway,
totally.
Hey, look, I'm looking forward to it anyway, whatever happens. Hey, so Jeff, look, you know, today, I don't know if you realize this, but today is episode number 150.
Is it?
Yes, of the
Holy
Gold Ball Hunting
smokes.
Podcast. You and I started this thing 150 days ago. That's and I still get a lot
remarkable.
of people. I get people who go, man, how do you do this every day? And you know, it's like I try to tell them, well, you know, Jeff and I are up at 4:30 every morning doing this for you.
That's right.
You know, it's a little easier on him now because 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time. So you know,
Right.
But boy, oh yeah. And then they go, wow, really? I go, no, not really.
Not really.
No, we actually kind of cruise whenever we want to
Yeah.
do it. We batch a few. We're going to do a couple this morning, and then schedule them out. But still, we're publishing every day, and I got to tell you, fun stuff for me. I mean, and it's actually really opened my eyes up to other ways of thinking about the game. Some of the stuff we talk about, what's the word I'm looking for? Affirms stuff that I've either been teaching for a long time or you know, affirms, you know, thoughts that I've had. But it's always good, I think, to, and, you know, I should hesitate when I say that to our students. I like to pick the brains of other teaching pros or of other coaches just because I just want to see what's on their mind. I want to see how they think. And lots of times they think the exact same way I do on something specific, but they say it in a different way that is like, oh, well, now that makes even more sense to think about it like that, even though it's the same thing. So the reason I hesitate for our students to go out there and go sign up for every one of the, you know, online tennis guys, go over to YouTube and just spend months over there. No, don't do that. You got to find, you know, a couple of guys maybe or gals that you like. And then what you've always said, Jeff, is you've got to become a student of the game. Right. You've got to be willing, I think, to have an open mind, because it is, in theory, the game of a lifetime. And that to me means, hey man, you know, I get to keep figuring this thing out forever.
I think, you know, yeah, absolutely. And the thing that's forever is that no matter which direction your ability moves, there is an adjustment in tactics and strategy. And you have to be aware of that, and you have to be open to hearing the truth about your current skill level, skill set. And it could be because of injury. It just could be because of age. It could be because you're actually improving. So now you're moving up. And so it's important that you be aware of that as a player, you know, and if you are going to be a true like student of the game, you've got to really keep your ego and pride at bay and be willing to listen to some different ideas that don't always match up with, say, classic tennis theory, because it's just different as you move along the, you know, your career path, whatever that is, you know, your tennis path, playing path. You're going to have to make adjustments. I mean, I know I made adjustments when I was playing full time because of injury. Okay, well, I can't stop playing. That's not an option. But
right.
So I got to figure out how to handle this current situation to be able to continue playing, working on the game, and blah 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 while I get through this injury. You know, if the injury's not, you know, debilitating, but I do need to make some adjustments somehow, whatever it might be. But I think that's a critical part of it, is that your game is not constant. It's not this thing that does this and it just keeps going like this. There's a moment of age, then it wavers a little bit, but you might be able to go, okay, it flattens out a little bit, and you know what? I changed my perspective, and I'm using different tactics now, and here I go again.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's good.
I think that's an important
factor.
Well,
I also think it's really vital for any of you that are teaching pros or coaches. And I know I did this for a while. I got super possessive about my way of teaching, my style of teaching, my methodology and philosophies and that kind of stuff. And really, I think when I became a better teaching pro is when I started asking questions of other guys. Yeah. And not that I was trying to open up a discussion so that I could say, well, what you're doing is crap and what I'm doing is not. I've got the right stuff. It was really sort of I was more open-minded to what's reality in terms of, you know, most of the guys who are listening to stuff are not on the pro tour, players and or coaches, right?
Right.
So what are we doing? So we're teaching the other 99.999% of tennis players out there who will never make a dime on the tour, who really have to embrace that, hey, your job is to help this player figure out how to play the game for the rest of their lives, whether you know, singles and or doubles, and love it. And if you get stuck with thinking that, well, I don't want to ask questions because maybe if I ask questions of another guy or gal, that kind of a sign of weakness, or if I stop learning and start just totally shoving myself in this little, you know, box that says this is the only way to do it. And look, when I came out of the Tom Stowe thing and when I was at the Cal Club in San Francisco, I had the benefit there of the guy who'd been there forever when I got there, Larry Extel, who stayed on when I was hired. And he sort of stayed on as like, I think I anointed him as like, you know, the Cal Club Pro Emeritus forever until, you know, the end of the universe, right? And but he was a Stowe guy, and I just remember thinking that not only had I gotten what I thought was a good job where it was a lot of opportunity to teach, and but I had this opportunity with Larry Extel where I thought, I'm going to wear this guy out. I'm going to wear him out in terms of picking his brain every day. There were sometimes he'd see me and he'd just kind of go, oh, crap, here we go again. Right. He knew I was going to ask him because, you know, when I had Stowe, I was only for 18 months. I didn't have him where, and it was the end of his life, and he was not the most articulate guy in the prime of his life. And so at the end of his life, he was just like going, can you just get it? Can you just frickin' get it?
Right.
Okay. So I would pick Larry's brain, but we've gotten way off topic. I actually had something I wanted to talk about today.
Did you?
Yes.
I thought we were talking about it. I thought, you know, just I think, you know.
Well, no,
I think, you know, before we even go there, I just think this is important though, that players you got to have an open mind to hear concepts and ideas and not be, let's say, tempted or fooled by, watching and listening and taking, the commentator's word as the gospel truth. They're also entertaining in the booth, right? They're part of their job is to commentate, entertain. There's a lot of information that goes back and forth, and it's all well and good. But there is a difference between pro ball. I know this is going to sound just astonishing. There's a difference between 0 to 5 in the world, 5 to 10 in the world, 10 to 25 in the world, 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to, and it just kind of, that gap keeps widening. And then you get down to us mere mortals here, playing national seniors, and maybe we played before, the tour and maybe not. And then your league players. And I got to tell you, there are a lot of commonalities, but there's some huge differences. And it really comes down to, are you trying to deploy a tactic, an idea, a strategy, a methodology that you don't have the skill set, the toolbox for? And I think that's just a big blind spot. And, we've talked about it before in someone's ability to learn and get better at this game. What's your version, right? For you, if I asked you that question, Brent, what's your version right now at 71? What's your version of getting better? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, for me, it's actually paring away the unnecessary. It's cutting more stuff out. It's in terms of technique, right? So it's getting so simple that I become more consistent as a shot maker. But really, for me, right now, it's much more the mental game. It's much more about quieting myself between points, because when I can do that, then I set myself up for the next point to be able to play it as quietly as possible. And again, we've laughed about this frequently, Jeff, that I haven't been the poster boy for let's say hospital zone, quiet please. There've been several little voices firing off, in between points. Most of them fairly negative, and but that's really what I'm working on. Like, I'm fascinated, and there was an article this morning in the Wall Street about this kid Kawhi Leonard for the Toronto Raptors. By the way, did you watch the Warriors-Raptors game last night?
I did not. Oh
my God. Just the emotional highs and lows were just incredible. But this kid, Kawhi Leonard, for Toronto is, I guess, sort of reminds me of what we've been talking about with Ash Barty, that there's no drama. Absolutely no drama at all. And Kawhi Leonard's taken the no drama to a brand new level where he doesn't have a scowl on his face, or he doesn't have any kind of, there's nothing. Absolutely. Maybe it's Everett back in the day, Chrissy.
Right.
But, and so to me, that's really what I want to, I say, well, look, why can't you be the one guy in the 70s who does kind of the Kawhi Leonard thing? Why not? I mean, and it's not one of those light switch things where you flip it on and off, and once you flip it on, now all of a sudden, okay, well, you're mentally tough, you're the man, you can do whatever you want now. All of a sudden, your game goes from here up to there, because it'll be a white knuckle job for a while, and while you kind of go, God, man, because inside you're going ballistic. But eventually, I think if you keep doing it, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, is just going, all right, well, this is going to be a process. This is going to take some time to make it feel natural. But I'm just kind of going, and look, I'm putting myself out here in a limb. I could go out and play at 11 o'clock this morning and go completely berserk out there,
Right. Could happen.
It could happen. But
somebody's alarm could go off in the parking lot, and you might,
Well, or I could miss. I could actually miss.
There's that vein right there you have that gets a little nutty when you start to get stressed.
Yeah, or it's I miss those 2 screamers up the line that I've never made before. That I go, oh my God, everybody! I mean, come on, can you believe
Today's
I missed that
day.
shot? So, but I think that is something that I want. I mean, I answer your question. That's really where I want to go with my game. It has nothing to do with results. It all has to do with. I think that's one thing that'll really help me eventually become a better player. And I've sort of noticed that the last few tournaments I played, especially in doubles, where you've got a partner, especially you've got you got a partner, it's easy to sort of get a little animated out there. The guy hits a nice shot, and you're kind of pointing at the guy, and, you want to go up there and slap him, high five and all this. And yet then you miss a shot the next point. And, it's kind of like you have to have that faith. Look, one shot's not going to make or break this deal, Brenty, so just Kawhi Leonard yourself right now.
Right.
Anyway, so... What else? Anything else before we sign off? Because I think we ought to save this topic.
Yeah, I think it was good. A good little reminder. I think this morning, just to remind everybody, listen, take stock of what it is you think you're practicing, what it is you think you're working on, and you can't move everything all at once.
No,
I mean you actually have to pick and choose, and what's going to be the most, what's the thing, as we've talked about in the past, what's going to thing right now that's going to make the boat go faster. Anyway, so there you have it.
Done. Boom.
That's it.
Boomski. Guys, did not mention at the beginning, top of the podcast, Jeff and I are offering a free private 10-minute coaching call to any of you who want to kind of get in the phone with us. It's private. We don't record it. Just 3 of us, a little conference call, and just bring up that one thing right now, the most important thing in your game right now that you feel like, I think I've mentioned this the last couple of days, you want to cross it off your to-do list with your tennis game. Whatever that is. Could be stroke technique, could be strategy tactics, could be mental. Go to goalballhunting.com, first name, email address, click the button there, and you'll get access to our online calendar where you can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. Jeffrey, what would we like the fine folks to immediately do right now?
Like us.
Yes.
Share us. Please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding. Guys, get out there today. There it is. Help someone else. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.